Hi, in this tutorial we'll see how to create some advanced charts using InfoCaptor. To begin, we'll select the MySQL database and we'll pick the transactions table. We select this. Now once you select any table, it will show you the dimensions and the measures that you can work with. Now if you had to build a traditional bar chart or line chart, what happens is that anything that you put on the columns bucket becomes the x-axis, and anything that you put on the values bucket becomes the y-axis. So let's say if I built a sales and I wanted to do it by warehouse. So you see that each of the warehouse is represented on the x-axis, and the height of the bar chart represents the sales for that particular segment. Now this is this the top that you see is the pivot table, the grids, and then you have the bar charts, you have the line charts, you have different area and bubble charts. And what is important is that you also have the ability to create hierarchical charts. Now when you select any of the hierarchical charts, they work a little different in the UI. So let's see what happens if I pick the circle pack. Now, when I do this, I see that no matter where I put this, it always, the chart doesn't change because there is no X or Y axis for the hierarchical chart. Now, what is different is that, let's make this a little bigger. Now, when I put a dimension in either rows or columns, the, the biggest circle that you see represents the grand total, and then the next circle represents the first dimension in the list. So right now we just have one dimension, so you have only one level of circles. Now what happens if you add one more level to this? So you see that a second set of circles appear within the inner circle. So you have the inner circle representing the warehouse, and underneath you see the product line, and each of the circles represents different product line within the warehouse. So this is a translation. So if we wanted to see a comparison, let's say if I pick a pivot table. So in a pivot table you have this warehouse, and then within each warehouse you have the product line, and product line being the last dimension, you see the total sales against that. So let's say if I wanted to give a comparison between a normal pivot table and a circle pack, so I'll add the row subtotals, and now you see is the total for the central warehouse, and then you can also add a grand total. So a circle pack visualization is a very densely packed visualization. It gives a lot of benefit. It's a hierarchical in the sense that you can change the position of the hierarchy, and it instantly shows you the big circle always represents the grand total, and what happens next is determined by the sequence of the dimension that you put in the rows or columns. So in this case, it doesn't matter if I put warehouse here, it always goes from rows to columns, and whatever sequence it goes from left to right. So now we have is product line first, and then we have the warehouse. I can put it back, and I have is warehouse, and then you have the product line. Now I can keep adding more levels to this. I can say show me a customer class just besides the product line, and now I see three levels of circle. You have the warehouse, you have the product line, and the last one is the customer class. I can make it a bigger. And what is important is that the hierarchical charts, most of them, they provide very densely packed visualizations, meaning a lot of data. Here the entire data set is packed into this, and when you click on any of the circles, you can drill down and you can instantly see the next level of information. I can drill down again, and I can see the customer class for each of them, and I can go back, I can browse from each circle to circle and zoom out. So this kind of visualization is important for presenting uh, like top to down hierarchical reporting, like doing cost center analysis or employee hierarchy analysis. And it's very important to get a feel of what your complete picture is. So this was a short introduction to Circle Pack, and hope you liked it. Thank you.